Story 1. AITA for telling my wife that I'm ending our marriage because I found her brother at our house, again, and said it in front of him. I am 38. Left my wife, Kelly F. 38. Today. 5 years together. For married. I have battled her lack of boundaries about her family for the past 2 years. I understand that they are very close-knit, but she never paid attention to how their dynamics affected our relationship. I experienced every just no family situation. My food was eaten, showing up uninvited, meddling, you name it. 9 months ago, MAL and FIL began divorce proceedings. He cheated, fell madly in love with a side chick, with whom he's lived for the past 15 years. And he decided that he wants to get remarried. He kicked everyone out of the house. It was an emergency, so I agreed to help out. I so fucking regret it. I had to take 4 people in, but they couldn't think to avoid constantly pissing me off. I got sick of finding them using our private bathroom. They had complete access to the other full bathroom by the hallway. Sale started taking naps on our bed, which is creepy because a bed is too personal. I came home late and we had to wake her up and still waited for her to snap out of her groggy state so that she could walk out. It lasted for 3 months, but the problems persisted. No matter how many times I told my wife and even told them, they still showed up at random hours. Even if I didn't run into them, I know she was allowing them to come over. I hated their presence. They would eat my snacks and get on my expensive recliner chair, which again, they didn't contribute a penny for. I had a mini orchard that they picked empty. Things got so tense that I blew at her in front of them. They left, we had a fight, and I ended up sleeping in a hotel. I warned her many times about being fed up and needing her to support me. She acted like I was demanding that she abandoned her family. Today, I came home to find her brother's car blocking the entrance. Not on the side and not even on the driveway, just right in the middle where my only option would be to get on the lawn. I go inside and he's laying with his shoes on the couch. He gave me this fresh smile like he's untouchable. I went to our bedroom and packed as much of my belongings as possible and ignored her pleas to talk. There's nothing else to talk about. I already called a few lawyers but haven't received any replies yet. She cried, but at this point I have no empathy. I don't even know if I overreacted or if I needed to discuss this in private. I feel defeated and angry, and I also hate her family with my soul. They knew they were hurting our relationship and they didn't care. She knew that I'm a private person who hates being invaded. I helped them because I love her and I didn't have the balls to let them go to sleep in their car. We don't have kids, but there are so many things that will be left undone. I loved her so much, but I just can't do this. She called me immediately after I left and I told her that my decision is final. She sounded shaken, but I told her that right now, I despise her and will never be able to sleep next to her again. Sorry for any typos. I have a migraine right now. I'm just coming here because I just want to ask if leaving the way that I did was an asshole move, and maybe I should have announced my intention of ending our marriage after her brother was gone.
Story 2. AITA for telling my ex's new boyfriend she cheated on me with 2 guys while we were together. So I, 25M, dated K, 27F, for about 1.5 years. We lived together, had joint savings, the whole domestic starter pack. I really thought we were in it for the long haul. Then she went on a girls' trip to Tulum. Came back a week later looking like she saw the ghost of morality. Sat me down and said she needed to be honest. Turns out she cheated. Twice. Once with some guy from her yoga class she said was like a brother, and once with a guy she met on the beach and connected with under the moonlight. I moved out the next day. Blocked her. Went full monk mode. Anyway, fast forward a few months. I get a DM from this guy, we'll call him Zach. Zach is her new boyfriend. He's all, hey man, hope this isn't weird, but I know you used to date Kay, and I just wanted to ask if she was faithful to you. She says you were emotionally distant and kind of checked out. First off, LOL. Second, I sat with it. I didn't respond for a few hours. But then I figured, if he's asking, he probably already knows something's off. So I told him the truth. I said. She cheated on me twice, once with someone she told me not to worry about, and once with a random on vacation. You can believe what you want, but that's what happened. Good luck. No insults. No bitterness. Just the facts. He read it. No reply. Then she texts me. I can't believe you're still trying to ruin my life. That was so inappropriate. I thought you were better than this. So now I'm wondering, did I cross a line? I wasn't trying to sabotage anything. He literally asked. I gave a calm, honest answer. But apparently, I'm the villain in her healing journey now. AITA. Story 3. AITA for not meeting or wanting to be in the life of my ex's new baby who is my kid's half-sibling. My ex, 30F, and I, 30M, broke up in 2022 after she cheated on me with my ex-best friend John, 31M. Ex and I have 2 kids ages 8 and 6 who we have 50-50 parenting time of and shared legal and physical custody after DNA proved they were mine. Ex and John were together until December 2024 when John found out she had cheated on him. She was pregnant and paternity of the baby was in question. John tried reaching out to me about it but I continued to ignore him like I had while he was with my ex. He and I will never be friends again. My ex gave birth in February and paternity is still in the air and they're awaiting a DNA test result. John's had nothing to do with the baby yet because he refuses to be in the child's life unless the child is his. I don't know about the other guy, S. I don't even know how many there are. My ex's parents always handled exchanges with our kids so there was less tension around the kids. But after my ex gave birth they started suggesting I meet the baby and putting it out there that I'll always be a part of this child's life and how their newest grandchild could do with someone like me in the picture. I told them it was a shame their daughter didn't consider that before she cheated on me. They told me it wasn't the innocent baby's fault, to which I rolled my eyes at them and said it can't be the baby's fault, but the baby isn't mine or family to me. They didn't like that, and when they found out I did nothing and bought nothing for the baby after they don't know if my ex had a boy or girl were born. Ex's parents gave me a hard time about it and I told my ex if it continued I would file a modification with the court for someone else to be nominated to handle exchanges. She told me I was being a dick. I have documented everything, but these comments are now said when we see each other at the store or on the street instead of during exchanges, which is smart. My ex reached out and asked me for $500 to buy formula and diapers and some rash treatment for the baby the other week and I quickly said no. The kids were with me so I knew immediately it wasn't for them. She asked a second time and I told her my answer had not changed. Ex's parents tracked me down when I was buying paint the next week and they unleashed all this anger about my refusal to be in the baby's life or even meet the baby. They said John won't be a good father whether he is or isn't and nobody else wants to know, but I'm already a dad and the kids could be raised together, but I won't even be an uncle for this child, and they said how selfish I am and what a piece of shit I'm being when they know I can be better. That I am the father of this baby's half-siblings and how my kids will never embrace the baby if I don't. I think it's crazy to expect me to have anything to do with this child. Especially to expect me to embrace and love this child. Baby is innocent, but I am not a member of their family. They are my children's half-sibling, but it doesn't mean they are my child or anything by association. This is how I see it anyway. And for anyone who asks, I am still documenting and I'm discussing the next steps with my attorney over contact and exchanges. AITA?